Hi, I'm Tracy Faulkner from Lush Fabrics with your latest release this Sunday. Another 12 fabrics and another mix of seasons. So some for the cooler weather, some for the warmer weather, some for the in-between weather and all the weather. So another 12. Let me flick to my right page here. There we go. So the first one is a super, super soft French terry. It is really beautiful and soft. So this is one of the circle tie-dyes in this really pretty sage colour. It's actually looking a little bit grey on the screen, but it does have a bit more green than that in there. And again, so I've said this before with these prints, it's really quite a big print, but you can easily, just set up your cut lines to cut through some of those so that they don't come out looking quite so huge on you. Or you can keep them just as big, whatever works for you. This one is 80% poly, 16 rayon, 4% spandex, and 200 GSM. So it is a thin French terry. Our French terries are just about all pretty thin, but they are still quite cozy. So although they're not a really thick, luxurious fabric, they are still quite nice and cozy, and they're nice and comfortable. This one's got some quite nice stretch, which is really good. Maybe even a little bit of give vertically, which is quite nice. And there's your drape. Now I couldn't find a thread to match this one, and I'm missing one of the fabrics as well. Sorry about that. Heathered Sage French Terry is one that we put with this, and good old Ivory double brush poly as well. So this is Circle Tie-Dye in Sage French Terry. Okay, now I have a woven for you. It's another one of these brushed cottons, and look at this, it's these gorgeous snails. They are so cute. So no stretch to this because it's a woven fabric. It is slightly brushed on the right side. Really, really slightly. I guess you can compare it a little bit to the flannelette that you might get at one of the bigger stores, but it's not as brushed on the outside. So I would wear this fabric in most seasons because for me it's the brushing that makes things warm, and because there really isn't a huge amount of brushing, it's not going to trap in a huge amount of heat. So it would work well for any season, I believe. So no stretch to show you, and it is cotton, so it does kind of stand out a little bit in its drape. So it doesn't just fall straight down. It does have a little bit of structure to it, which can make for a really beautiful garment. So if you match your fabric and your pattern well, it'll turn out beautifully. I do have a matching thread for this one, which is 332. And we put this one with Silver Fox, which is a cotton spandex, once I can pick it up, and Off-White Modal. Oh, I'm falling apart. Hang on, let me dress myself. Here we go. Off-White Modal. And bright red double brush poly because of these little red bits that are in there. And I mean, it's mainly grey, so you could put a lot of different colours with this one and it would look really cute. So this is the Snails 100% brushed cotton, which is not really that brushed. Now, I didn't sew anything again from today's new releases, but I did sew up my most favourite fabric ever recently. This is the Bedazzle. It's a woven as well. It's a rayon cotton, and I just love the colours. I love red. I know red's not for everybody, but red's definitely for me, and I can't go past this one. So I made a little Akita top, excuse the little microphone there, from Seam Work, which is a pretty quick sew. I mean, there's a bit of binding all over the place in all the seams actually, and I even hemmed because you have to with woven, but it's just a cute little top which I thought would be quite nice for the warmer weather and quite nice under a jacket as well. So sorry, I didn't sew up anything from the new releases again. I will next week. There's something I want to sew up from next week's one. I've got you know, sometimes things just jump out at you. That has to be this pattern. So I've got one of those for next week. Okay, next fabric is a restock, and it was a pretty popular one that we had last time. It is this gorgeous broderie anglaise. So it's a lovely stretchy broderie anglaise. So you can see it's got all those holes in it. The fabric base is DTY. So DTY is basically brush poly without the brushing. So without the additional little bit of warmth that you might get from it. Let me get the nice end up here. All right, let's see if I can show you. There we go. So you can see, isn't it so sweet? So depending on what you make, you might have to line it. What you wear underneath it, you might have to line it. I made a skirt out of this, and I just wore a little slip. Like I made a long maxi skirt, and then I just wore a little slip from Big W or something like that underneath it. But I could easily wear this skirt for like a bather's over type garment, and then obviously wouldn't need the slip, but there would be some see-through factor. Although when I was trying to take a photo of said skirt, I could not get any see-through factor going, so you couldn't actually see the detail in this fabric. So it kind of, it depends on what you're going to make as to what you might need to do with it. But even if you don't want to line it, just bring like a little singlet top underneath, or as I said, just a little slip that I wore underneath. Works just as well if you don't want to go to the effort of lining. Okay, so DTY has nice stretch. Little bit of vertical, not a huge amount. Really nice drape. So you can do with this most things that you would do with a brush poly, which is most things. There's lots and lots that you can do. And it's just so gorgeous, and it just has such a summer vibe, doesn't it? Okay, so good old thread number 4000 for this one, of course, and I haven't done any coordinates because it's black and you can put just about anything with it. So this is the black broderie anglaise. Okay, I have another DTY for you, this time a print. This one is called English Garden. So we've had a few DTYs in the last couple of weeks, just because I think they're fantastic for summer. I think the best description of a DTY is just a poly knit. It's about 170, 180 GSM, so it's nice and light. It's got a slinky feel to it, but not a crazy slippery slinky. Just slinky enough to make you feel cool. No brushing. It's just lovely. So this is the print for today. Let me move back to show you. It's got a little bit of a spring feel and a little bit of a winter feel, I think, with the dark background. So it's really quite cute. So let's see the stretch on this one. It's got a firm stretch. It doesn't have quite as much stretch as a brush poly. It's got better vertical stretch, this one. Beautiful drape. Gorgeous for dresses, pants. I've got some DTY pants, and I actually wore them out last weekend. Got so many compliments on my pants. They were so comfortable. They were the Pattern Emporium Palazzo pants, and they were dressy-ish too. It was a high tea that I went to, so I needed, some amount of dressiness. And I felt really nice, and I felt really comfortable, and I got lots of compliments, so that's nice. Okay, thread number 4000 for this one, and we have matched it with, not that one, this one, Passion Red. It's a 250 GSM modal. And where's my pile gone here? I'm making a bit of a mess with my cards there. The off-white, again, this one's very popular today. The off-white modal seems to go with everything. And bottle green cotton spandex. That's really nice too. Okay, so English Garden DTY. Now I have a heap of double brush polys for you because they are just gorgeous prints, and it's a beautiful time of year to wear brush poly. So there is the brushing on it, so for me that makes it a bit warmer. It's not necessarily the poly that makes it warm for me, but the brushing. I think I said this to you last week, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, although I probably do repeat myself a lot in these videos, right? Some of you watch them week after week, but some of you are only just tuning in. So I would probably wear brush poly up to, I don't know, maybe 35 degrees, maybe a little bit less, but it would depend on the garment. So if it was a tight fitted dress, say the Entice Me dress from Pattern Emporium, which I've got a few of those, and they're all sleeveless, which is great, but they are quite fitted against the body. So I would probably find that too hot in double brush poly on a warm day. But if it was, say, I haven't made one of these, but if it was, say, the lounge dress by Pattern Emporium, I would find that more comfortable because it's not as tight and fitted, so there's airflow, you know, it's much more comfortable, and I don't find it so hot if it's not so fitted. Sachet shorts from Pattern Emporium. I'm choosing Pattern Emporium because so many of us already follow them, and I have quite a few garments made up with their patterns, so I hope you know the Pattern Emporium, so you know what I'm talking about. If not, you can have a quick look on their website and see the patterns that I'm talking about. The sachet shorts I can wear in any weather because they're pretty roomy and there's plenty of airflow, so I don't find it too hot. And I think because my chest isn't involved, you know, they're short, so I'm not keeping heat in my chest area, so I feel fine. So brush poly for me, I wear quite a bit, but we're all different. So the only way to know is to try it out. Forest Hues is this one, and it's this gorgeous forest green in the background, and some other beautiful natural type colours, earthy type colours. So brush poly has amazing stretch, and it has really good recovery on its stretch, so you can wear make a fitted garment out of it and it'll work beautifully, or you can make a drapey garment out of it and it'll work beautifully, or a combination of the two, and they'll look great. I don't have a matching thread. My dark green is just a little bit too bright for this one, and we've just matched it with the Chantilly, which is a round modal. So that is Forest Hues. Now the next one has gone out in a subscription box, I believe. This is called Magnificence, and I love it. And the reason I love it is I really quite like, you know, just that little smudgy bit of background colour in there. It's almost a greeny colour, like a greeny grey. I think it makes it look really pretty. I really like the size of the print too. It's not too big and it's not too small. It's a beautiful, soft, double brushed. Great stretch. Beautiful drape. I really like it. So I've just put it with thread number 1000. You could probably put it with black. You might not need to buy a special thread for this one. You've probably got something at home that you could work with. So just an off-white or a black I think would work fine. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. Off-white again for this one, the off-white modal. But you could put a lot of colours with this, I think. It's very pretty. Okay, Magnificence, double brush poly. Now the next one, you might need to pop on a pair of sunglasses. It is bright. You've seen this print before, but not in this colourway. I hope you like it. It is a lot of colour, but it's really kind of cool, I think. So this is called Bright Rainbow Flower Power. So we had the Pastel Rainbow Flower Power. Now we have the Bright Rainbow Flower Power. How is that? Isn't it gorgeous? So it's just got a black print and then this rainbow effect of colours on there. It's gorgeous. It's soft. It's beautiful. Nice stretch both ways. Beautiful drape. I haven't matched a thread with it just because it really depends on where your hem's going to be as to what colour thread, or you could just stick with a black because that's the background colour it's not the background colour, it's the colour of the print. Okay, we do have some nice matches for this one, so let's see what we have. We have Tiffany, cotton spandex. So if there's a particular colour that you really love in here that you'd like to pull out, if you try and find that colour in a solid, it'll really draw it out And the others will kind of, they're still there, but they won't be quite so noticeable. Shiraz double brush poly is beautiful with it. What else do we have? Russet. It's really nice. And liquid gold. Modal is nice as well. And Kelly green, single brush poly. Match that green in there. Can you see that green? There it is. It's only a small strip, that one. But how vibrant is this? Isn't it gorgeous? So bright rainbow, flower power, double brush poly. Okay, now a little bit of this one went out in the subscription box too, I believe. It's crazy soft again. This is called Tribal in Rust. We had Tribal in Olive a couple of weeks ago, I think. It's just a really pretty, subtle print. And that print is quite big, but it's made up of a few different things, which I think kind of reduces the size of it. I think it sort of depends on what you make. If you were to make a top, you're going to break that print up. If it was going to be pants, I think it would look amazing. Imagine palazzo pants in this. So pretty. So, same old stretch. Really good stretch, this one. So soft. Beautiful drape. I didn't find a match in thread. Just wasn't quite right. I picked one up and I nearly wrote it down. I thought, oh, it's just not right enough. Ivory, double brush poly for this one. So that's Tribal in Rust, double brushed. I like it, but I quite like that sort of a colour. Now, you've seen this print before too. Next one as well. This is Ignite in black. So we've had Ignite in a few colours now, I think. This is just a beautiful classic black and white print, which is just gorgeous. So just black and white, or probably a bit of an off-white actually, not real white. So, nice stretch, both ways. Here's your drape. Good old 4000 again for your thread, the black. And we have put this with the off-white modal, but you can match it with any colour except navy, and it'll look gorgeous. Okay, Ignite in black. All right, here's another one that you've seen before. This is Caged. This time we have Caged in pink, and it is this beautiful hot pink. It's gorgeous. Let's see. Isn't that beautiful? Double brush poly again. Love it. Nice stretch. Nice drape. And I put this one with number 3000. But again, you've probably got something at home that you might be able to use, because there's a few different colours in here, whether it's a tanny colour, the lighter background, a pink or a black you could use. So you might just have something already that you can use for that one. So off-white again, off-white modal. Burnt caramel. Oh, we've got just a little bit of burnt caramel left. Just checking the roll over there, and it's pretty small. So burnt caramel for this one, and my favourite, bright magenta, 200 GSM modal. Isn't that gorgeous? Pants and a top, or a skirt and a top. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, Caged in pink. Oh, the next one, you've seen this print before as well. Must be one of those weeks. Pink butterfly. So we've had the purple butterfly. Now we have this adorable pink. And it is the prettiest pink. It's so sweet. If only I had some little girls to sew for, things that I could make for them with this. But I don't know that my boys would like it as much as I do. They're not really into pink or butterflies, unfortunately. It's lovely and soft. It is another double brushed. Amazing stretch. Beautiful drape on this one as well, if you wanted to make like a twirly dress or something like that. Really, really beautiful. So I put this one with thread 1056, and it's just ivory is our match for this one. Here we go, sorry, just checking I didn't stop that. So pink butterfly. All right, now we are up to our Sunday special, which is really pretty as well, and also a bit of pink in it. The last few have been pink, haven't they? Which is clashing with my outfit. Didn't think that through. All right, this one is called Fluctuate. Fluctuate in Blush. And it's just gorgeous. How sweet is that? So springish. Beautiful for spring. Summer. Really like colours. Just gorgeous. Not on me, but on many of you, it would look gorgeous. So, nice stretch again. So this is your Sunday special, which means it's a little bit cheaper just for today. And we do that for people who haven't tried Lush before or haven't tried this fabric type before. It just makes it that little bit easier to take that leap and give it a go. Now I don't have a matching thread for this one, but it does look really pretty with peach, double brush poly. Off-white again, it's been very busy this card today, off-white modal, or melon, cotton spandex, is really pretty as well. Isn't it gorgeous? So Fluctuate in Blush is your Lush Sunday special for today. It's really pretty. Wish I could wear these colours. Gorgeous. Adults or kids, I think. It's really great for either. Sorry. Still choking on my words. Must be time to finish it off. Okay, so that is everything. We have our usual competitions on Facebook in our group, in our page, so make sure you enter those. You'll find all of these new fabrics and our massive range of in-stock fabrics, as you can see some of them behind me, on our website, www.lushfabrics.com.au, and I will see you next week with some more. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.